Hello, my name is Sam Bedard, and my partner for this assignment was Ali Alsaeedi. The category that we were given for this project was Innovative Technology and Aging. So without further ado, let's just hop right into it. Aging is an inevitable part of every individual's life. Currently in Canada, seniors account for 14.8% of the Canadian population. This population is continuing to grow, and at a rapid pace. Many things are in people's control, but the one thing people cannot control is their aging. People think of others at different ages as different than themselves. A young kid thinks adults can do whatever they want. Adults think young kids cannot do anything, and adults think the elderly ages cannot do much either. Everyone, however, wants to stay young, and because everyone knows it is not possible, people do all they can to look and feel young. This can be through dieting, facial and body creams, etc. We learned about the Iron Lady who biked marathons, the various people filmed in the TVO documentary who showed that are way different than their stereotypical image of the elderly. They all showed us that age is but a number, and that strong will and determination is in fact a true factor in what is possible and what is not. As technology advances and makes life easier for people, the one thing people are looking for is the ability to feel and look young. Unfortunately, society places roles upon people, even though people can do way more than what is expected of them. Age stratification theory, a theoretical perspective based on the belief that the societal age structure affects roles, self-concept, and life satisfaction. Role theory is a theory based on the belief that roles define us and our self-concept, and shape our behavior. People deem that the elder cannot do what their younger counterparts are capable of, although throughout this course we have learned many examples where that just simply is not the case. So, constantly older adults and their children argue over whether the older adult can remain independent and live by themselves. Their children, however, feel safer with them staying with someone taking care of them, whether it be a nurse or at a retirement residence. Technology is vital for this as it can satisfy both parties. Technology can allow the elder to have their independent lives that they strive to have. Technology, however, is still new to everyone of all ages, and still varies, especially with older adults. The purpose of the study was to determine and explore the different factors that influences what technology an older adult will use and to what degree the technology will be used. In order to determine all this and come to a conclusion, there was a well thought out method used to achieve this. A qualitative explorative study was set up involving home visits to 53 community dwelling older adults aged 68 to 95 living in the Netherlands. Purposive sampling was used to include participants with different health statuses, living arrangements, and levels of technology experience. During each home visit, background information on the participants' chronic conditions, major life events, frailty, cognitive functioning, subjective health, ownership, and use of technology was gathered, and a semi-structured interview was conducted regarding reasons for the level of the use of technology. The study was designed to include various types of technology that could support activities of daily living, personal health or safety, mobility, communication, physical activity, personal development, and leisure activities. Thematic analysis was employed to analyze interview transcripts. That is the exact methodology used in the study. The results from doing all this show that there is 6 overall themes which highlight and show the varying approaches to technology by older adults. The 6 themes are challenges in the domain of independent living, behavioral options, personal thoughts on technology use, influence of the social network, influence of organizations, and the role of the physical environment. The use of technology is unfortunately influenced by the negative stereotypes of older adults and technology. The common misconception that technology is way too advanced for them, screens can be too small, technology can be too overwhelming with the different softwares, hardwares, etc., and it gets them to put them off before they even get technology a chance. By determining these factors, it allows individuals to change the misconceptions that have been derived and put a very large group of people onto technology that would not necessarily have attempted to use it before. When dealing with this study, it brought a lot of shine and perspective to the issue with the elder and technology. The only problems that can derive with this is that the sample size can be deemed minuscule. Although a lot of conclusions came from this sample size, a sample size can always be bigger. As the bigger it gets, the more deviations it can bring to the conclusion, even to the point of providing a different conclusion altogether. Another issue is that the study was conducted in a different country. Although human beings are the same all over the world, there are varying degrees of stereotypes pushed through media or general human thoughts in each country that can change a person's conception on an issue. Although an elder adult in the Netherlands is pretty much the same as an elder adult in Canada, their conceptions on laptops, phones, GPS, etc., they can be very different. This study also focused on community-dwelling adults, which would have been interesting to see non-community dwelling older adults, and compare and contrast between the two sets of data to see how different they truly are. So technology is constantly being used by everyone to better their lives and improve lives, whether it be a car or something small like a phone or GPS system. Technology is meant to improve lives in any way it can, some better at it than others. When it comes to the elder population, there are so many differing parties involved, each with their own insight and thoughts on how to interact and deal with the elder. Everyone is trying to do the right thing, but may in fact be doing the exact opposite. One study conducted and published in the Journal of Medical Research sets out to see exactly what the different parties' thought processes are in this matter. The breakdown of the study is: monodisciplinary focus groups were conducted with participants representing 5 groups of stakeholders: older adults, care professionals, managers within home care or social work organizations, technology designers and suppliers, and policymakers. Transcripts were analyzed using thematic analysis. The results showcased a lot about the different views on technology and the elder, which would mirror the thought process of a lot of students enrolled in this course. Everyone agrees that the technology is a major plus, but there needs to be some set rules and guidelines to maximize its efficiency. There are 4 main areas which everyone tends to agree and come together on. The four are that first, the elder adults needs to be thought of and prioritized when developing the technology. All their needs need to come into play rather than rather than the thoughts of any other party. Second, the technology needs to be accepted and used by the elder adults. There is no point of developing all of this expensive technology unless they deem it fit. Third, it needs to provide benefits that they are looking for. There's no need to add a million different features if they do not need a single one of them. It needs to have the bare minimum of what they are looking for. Last, many of the needs and wants are already set out by the elder and should be used when developing and implementing these technologies. These four areas are pretty much agreed upon by everyone. However, there are some underlying factors that not everyone sees eye to eye on. Most most of the discrepancies are based off the actual technologies itself rather than the purpose that they can serve. They feel that most technologies are out to do the best for the consumer. However, some are more useful than others. Pricing also comes into play as well, and developing the technology and pricing them at a point where the technology is applicable to all, but not just the well off. Just like the previous study, it is always more beneficial to increase the sample size. Deviations are very important as people are different, so by getting more insight, you can increase your knowledge on the topic and come to stronger conclusions. Overall, the study was very beneficial and shed a different light on the issue, one that many people tend to overlook. As the elder population continues to grow in Canada, it is important to educate them and everyone else as well on how to interact with them and get them to be the best that they can be. Everyone is ultimately going to become an elder adult and therefore should be educated on the issue. There are many initiatives in place to help the elder in doing whatever that they want to do, whether it be running marathons or playing a sport, learning how to play an instrument, or code their first app. There is always something to do and help is out there. Mississauga has an outreach program that sends volunteers out to each elder adult in the program and takes them out to do any physical activity that they seem fit. Mostly this involves biking, hiking, walking, but they can go to extremes like rock climbing, gymnastics, or marathon running. Another program is to educate the elderly through classes as well as one-on-one tutoring on various technology programs such as coding, email, Photoshop, Microsoft Excel, etc. Anything that they want to learn will be taught to them, and some even have started their own online businesses or offering services online, such as data entry and app designing. Although there is a lot of good programs out there, they are not as common as one would like. The elder population is quite substantial, and the number of programs out there does not match that population. More programs can be implemented and should be. Many high school students are looking for volunteer hours, and by introducing a program that they can volunteer in and help the elderly as well may be beneficial. The tips and tricks that they learn here can be introduced at home in their grandparents' lives as well. There are many ways to encourage more activities for the elder adults, but initiatives must be taken on a local level as well as a federal, countrywide level. A week or day can be set aside as a National Technology Day for the elderly. People can educate the elderly through seminars at local schools or recreation centers in various technological fields, as they do now, but on a smaller scale. Online businesses can be set up by the elderly through the help of volunteers, and government grants and bursaries can be applied to these as well. The aging population is often portrayed in a negative light in the media, television, and movies. Most often, characters show some degree of decline in overall function. Older adults are also not given the same opportunities or screen time, as only 10% of actors aged 65 and older are cast in major roles, a stat which is declining. Seniors are often shown with little to no competency towards a given technology, often for comedic intention. Most seniors do not agree with the portrayal of older adults within the media, while the majority of younger adults do. This suggests that ageism is prevalent within the media, for both the acting community and the general aging population. A character in the longest-running animated series of all time has some very ageist characteristics. Abe, Grandpa Simpson, A minor character in The Simpsons television series has been shown to hold an iron to his head as if a telephone. Although used for comedic purposes, this is flaunting a negative stereotype about elderly not being able to properly use technology. In fact, it would appear that his character exists only to poke fun at an aging population. Abe's character resides at the local nursing home with several other older adults who crowd around the box-style television of their generation. This series mocks the aging population's cognitive abilities as well as their leisurely activities. Technology is advancing in many fields at an alarming rate. Most advertising is geared towards a younger generation. Commercials for a new technology rarely features a senior citizen, as that demographic is often overlooked as a target audience. This is where ageism exists with advancing technology. It is assumed that because of the natural decline that is assumed to accompany aging, that the elderly is unable to adapt the new technology. This is often not the case. Many seniors actively learn new technology platforms and keep up to date with the technology available to them. Smartphones and laptops are becoming more prominent in the aging population. This is the trend that needs to continue for companies in advertising to notice this demographic. The arts are a relatively timeless activity that can be influenced by technology. Musicians have new electronic instruments and pedals. Artists can alter their work digitally, and dancers may have new modern footwear. Seniors are often depicted solely listening to music of their generation. Many active senior artists keep up to date with the technology within their field and maximize its potential. Many art galleries do not accept entries from seniors but from young and emerging artists only. A similar issue emerges when seniors seek to sign with record labels, as they are often viewed as past their prime. Opportunities are fortunately not the same for seniors compared to the younger generation. So, in conclusion, seniors should not be intimidated by the onset of new technology. Technology can help seniors stay productive and self-sufficient. Semi-retired seniors may use different technology to supplement their work. It may be beneficial to welcome iPads and cell phones into retirement residences the same way that we are beginning to do so in elementary and high schools. Right now, there is little government funding in educating the elderly with new technology, and that should change. So, seniors are influenced by their current stereotype. So, the stereotype must be broken in order to influence the senior population in a positive manner as well. And then we're on to our references. Yes. So these are the references used for the purposes of this assignment. And yes, thank you for listening to our presentation. That is everything.